guys, welcome to another edition of our Tuesday Tips. Today we're going to talk with you a little bit about how to create a Google business listing, why that benefits you as a real estate agent, and also just some statistics that we've heard recently that kind of help validate those things. So actually, I don't know if any of you knew, but about 69% of home shoppers will actually do a search on Google, searching for real estate agent near me or homes for sale near me. And that near me kind of 4-pack that shows up is the first thing that people are going to see besides the paid advertisement. So that's a really quick way to get your name out there. It could be the first thing that people see, and those are actually one of the more clicked things on Google when someone finds that. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and just give you some quick tips about how to create that, why it's important, and give you some good tips. All right, so overcoming one issue, I have a lot of people who will ask me what to do if they're in an office situation. So you have multiple agents that you're working with. You have a brokerage who also wants a Google business listing. They may already have their pages created. So what do you do to kind of combat that?
Right,
so,
you want your own brand, essentially.
Exactly. So when people search for, real estate agent near me, it might be good if your brokerage shows up, but you really want your name, your brand to show up first, or you want it to be there to begin with. So Google only allows business listings that are, in one location, so you can't have multiple.
So you can have 10 agents register their own separate pages with the same location for everybody.
Right. So one way to do that is to go ahead, get with your agency, have them make sure that their name, so maybe it's the first time you're telling them to create a listing. They may not have created one yet, or they may have, but I would have them go in, change their name to just the brokerage, so or just the office. So for example, you could say, Remax Premier Agents or whatever. That would be your office name. That's what the agency's business listing would say, and yours would say Joe Smith Realtor. So it's really important to not do like Remax Premier Agents - Joe Smith Realtor, because Google sees that as you trying to scam them and put in more than one of the same business and trying to overload that 4-pack when people are searching agents near me. So you want to make sure that you kind of separate yourself from that brand. You can still talk about it in your bio. When people get to your website, you'll have that information there. So it's just really important to have kind of your own brand. One more thing that just has to do with this, it's a little bit difficult because you do have to comply with Google's rules, but you also have to comply with
the brokerage rules.
The brokerage rules. So they'll want you to include, talk about your brokerage in your Google business listing, but at the same time, Google sees that as you trying to scam them. So it's kind of
catch-22.
It's a catch-22, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to just ask for forgiveness. Like I would just start at the beginning, make sure that you have your business listing on Google, and then kind of explain the situation from there. Have the information in your bio on your Google page, and then you should be good to go.
Yeah, and as long as your website's in compliance, I think that's really kind of the biggest thing.
Right. All right, guys, another big tip for you guys when you're creating a business listing, you have to get verified. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. You may not know what it means when you first hop in there, but one of the first things that we always do when we're setting up business listings for our clients is getting them verified. The number one benefit is really that you're more likely to show up in that 4-pack of the real estate agents near me or homes for sale near me. You're more likely to show up in that if you are verified by Google.
Well, one thing I do want to point out is we help you get verified because we can't do it for you. Basically what they do is they take the business address that you put in and mail a postcard to that address that you will then put in a code that's on that postcard just to verify that you are in that physical address. So we would love to be able to do it for you, but of course it's something that you need to keep an eye out for.
Right. So really quick, easy steps. You can also do it by phone. So once you hop on there, you can answer your phone, get the code, type it in, and you're automatically verified. So it's not that much work at all, and it benefits you in the long run. So definitely make sure to get verified. In your process of getting verified, another thing you want to make sure to do is include your address. Get connected on Google Maps, because when people are searching, real estate agent near me again, they're going to want, Google is going to pull up map results with that so that people can see how close they are and actually determine if the person who's making that search is close by to, where your office location is.
Yeah.
So, and 30% of mobile searches are actually like local intent searches, as Google calls them, which are those near me searches.
Right.
So, and a lot of people are doing that. About 84% of near me searches are done on mobile. So people walking around, anywhere close to your location, if they're searching that, you need to have your address really linked to your page so that people can find you easily, and you have that much more visibility when people are on search engines looking for real estate.
Definitely. And now, kind of along those lines, it's important to make sure that information that you put in is up to date, that your address, if you moved or expanded or anything, make sure you let Google know, and again, verify that address for the same reason, because if people are near you, they want to be able to find you on those Google Maps, and if you do, they can one-click get directions. Same with your phone. Make sure your phone number is accurate, because on a mobile device, it's click to call, and it just makes it that much easier for people to get in touch with you.
Yep. And another thing along with that, like you were saying, in the kind of when your Google business page pulls up, there's like 4 things. You can click the website, click to call, directions. The number one most clicked item out of those is your website. So also make sure to include your most current website link. And if you have multiple websites, you need to make sure to combine them into one or figure out a situation there.
That's a great point. Another big key into helping people find you is adding business photos. So photos of the exterior of your business can really help somebody who's looking to find you put that together and actually find your local business. Right. If you're in like an office park or something, it's really hard to navigate the buildings and the suites. So giving a little bit of context clues really helps.
Or what we've had trouble with too, I have folks who are doing a particular community. It's a new construction community, and that's their entire website, their entire marketing plan is surrounded around that community. And it's brand new, so we have to really take photos of the area, because Google is still creating, the streets that the houses are on,
right?
Which is a whole nother probably Tuesday tip for you, but it's important to kind of have photos of that outside location, because when you're going somewhere, typically there'll be photos of a location so that you can double check, make sure it's the correct place, the correct house you're supposed to be at, whatever. So I think that's super important.
Definitely. And you can take it a step further and do interior photos.
Yeah.
So photos of the team working, or group shots, or homes you've sold, or just even kind of fun events you might have done around the office to give your brand a little bit of personality and let people really get to know you, and hopefully then get excited to work with you. And then the final and maybe most exciting thing you can do with your Google business page is collect reviews and actually engage with them. This is super important, as I'm sure you know and you've done yourself. People look for reviews before they do anything nowadays. They want that validation that the person that they're going to work with or the product that they're going to buy is going to be worth the value.
Right. Even just the other day, I was looking for an exterminator.
Yeah.
So I was going through, and the first result that popped up had like 2 Google reviews, and they had 5 stars, but they only had 2 reviews. So I was like, I just went through kind of that 4-pack there, and I was like, I saw one that had like 265 reviews or something like that, and it was like 4.9 stars or 4.8 stars.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
No-brainer.
I didn't even read them. I know people who've literally gone through every single review.
Kind of skimmed through,
I read like the first 3, and I was like, all right, I'm calling them. So I called them right there on the spot.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different, because that's a service that you need like right then and there. Sometimes real estate can be a little bit different, but that helps them get an idea of who you are, how your business works, and really gives them
build some trust.
Build some trust so that they can make a list and decide, this is probably the person I want to work with. They have this many reviews with this many stars, and gives them a reason to go to your website and check you out even further.
Definitely. And don't be afraid to ask for reviews. 7 out of 10 consumers will actually leave a review if you ask them to. So make sure that you're setting that precedent of asking your happy clients to leave you some positive reviews, because it really can do a lot for your business.
Yeah, and one of the things that goes along with that I think we've spoken about in a previous mastermind session was making sure that you're asking your consumers and your clients at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the process. A lot of people will just ask after the fact, but it's important to ask throughout the process.
Yeah, just plant the seed in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, well, I hope you got a lot out of this Tuesday tip. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.